Go, sir. Hi, Advocate Kushal.
Hi.
Hi. Sir, on the 4th of November, the Gujarat High Court has passed a judgment wherein it has held that Indian parties can choose a foreign seat of arbitration and then enforce the award in India. Could you please help us understand what exactly this judgment means, please?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, thank you very much for having me. Uh, it's a very important judgment because the concept of a seat, it's a very important issue in international arbitration. It is kind of a basic fact in today's world that the location of the seat can have huge consequences, uh, both in the legal world and in the non-legal real life as situations, and it can really alter the course of the dispute resolution that both parties are seeking to do. Now, today's judgment is a landmark judgment. It resolves a lot of confusion. It resolves a lot of debate, and it puts a lot of our minds to rest. So let me explain to you why. Now, first of all, this judgment isn't a real. This judgment is reflective of a long-standing trend of the judiciary to that has realized that having the previous set of judgments,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like uh, like Bhatia, that had showed a bias for not, I wouldn't say bias, that showed a willingness for the interference on parts of the Indian courts to international arbitrations. The judiciary realized at some point that this was having a horrible impact on the horrible impact on the business environment of on India, and it was really impacting the confidence of foreign companies, or as to the ease of doing business within India. But ever since the DOSCO case came out, there has been now the courts have been course correcting, and very soon you had the Balco judgment, which overturned Bhatia, and they made it clear. They gave us an exception route where we could. They gave us various exceptions through which we could rectify the situation, and they gave us an avenue to exclude part one of towards the international arbitrations that were to be connected towards India.
Right,
Now,
sir.
now let us come to today's thing. Today's judgment was very significant. You had a lot of great advocates making very significant points, but I think the one thing that really caught my eye today, but I think, as you have correctly said, what stands out today is that when the Gujarat High Court, by saying that two Indian parties are entitled to choose a foreign seat of arbitration, um, it has put a very far-reaching issue to rest. And they have also done another very good thing that I've also seen in my personal litigation experience, that with if a certain party did not have a good reason to oppose the arbitral award, they would say something as if this thing is against the public policy of India. Now, as well as you know, and everyone else knows, the Supreme Court hasn't taken too kindly to this excuse of against the public policy of India, and has in fact observed that this thing should be given as narrow a meaning as possible. You should
Right,
not
right.
make this wide.
Right, sir.
So the Gujarat High Court has done an excellent thing by following those Katinov decisions, and they have also held, and they have again taken a not very charitable view to the petitioner that this award was against the public policy of India. They have not treated it with kindness, and they shouldn't. I mean, if you cannot prove it's against the public policy of India, you should not make it. And I hope that this will be taken very seriously by uh, people, in that this public policy of India, it won't be misused as a default thing that we have nothing to say, so we'll say, oh, it's against public policy of India. Now, what is the thing? What I really liked here is today's judgment solidifies the ongoing judicial course correction that I spoke about. Now the Gujarat High Court has empowered advocates to fully, sorry, not advocates, I mean the parties to the arbitration, to fully exclude part 1 of the uh, to exclude ACA. So now there does not have to be any of those confusions and debates that there were before.
Right, sir.
And what Justice Vaishnav did was he stated that to determine the enforceability of the foreign award under the Part 2 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, the nationality of the parties is no longer relevant. This is a huge thing. So you have two Indian companies. They went to this thing happened in Zurich. Let's talk in a random context. Another very popular destination, Singapore. Let's say they both go to Singapore. They are both Indians. Singapore gives the judgment, gives the award. Sorry. Well, now nobody will ask were you Singaporean, were you Indian? This thing will be automatically implemented in India. And now the Part 1, which used to, for the lack of a better word, freak out a lot of stakeholders, be it foreign companies, be it Indian companies, be it a lot of arbitration experts. That Part 1 barricade has now been removed, and the thing will now be automatically enforced under Part 2 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. So this will streamline a lot of the arbitration proceedings. It will result in a very smooth, streamlined sort of application of the foreign award to Indian settings. And this will help in resolving disputes. It will this will help massively in the ease of doing business. The way I see it, I think this will increase investor confidence, and this will go a long way in making people confident about the Indian scenario of arbitration. So I think this is a good development, and I think this is a landmark decision because today's Gujarat High Court verdict has shut down a lot of debate that was unnecessarily going on. And what I'm especially grateful to the Gujarat High Court is they did not greet that public policy excuse with much kindness. So that's it. Over to you.
Makes sense, sir. Thank you so very much for this. It's been extremely, extremely helpful and enriching.
Thank you. Appreciate it.